Forever. Dog.
Manila.
Latrice Royale.
I'm feeling extra glamorous tonight.
Give it everything you got. Trying to make it to the top. Never ever gonna stop. Even if you get the chop, 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 chop. Girl, you got the chop.
Welcome to The Chop with Latrice and Manila.
Where we give you the weekly recap and rundown of Canada's drag race. Who's on top?
And who will get the chop?
Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up, girl.
This week's challenge. Well, let's go back to last week.
Let's go to last week. Last week, we got to see all the queens in their ballet best in the mini challenge. That was fun. Then in two teams, they competed to create some iconic heritage moments in a green screen acting challenge. Now, for the runway, the queens recreated their first time drag looks, and Lemon won. Kine.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Kine and Tainomi were in the bottom, and after the lip sync, Kine kindly went home. So that's the recap.
We're all
on
up
that.
to date. We're all up to date.
Yes, spoiler. But we did get some messages from our new inbox. So what do we have now?
We have Christy Lee writes us, "Good morning, dolls. I'm 16 minutes into episode 2 of The Chop. Thank you for doing a little research before recording the episode."
Okay.
It makes it so much more enjoyable knowing that you get the humor and history of what you're watching. Yes, girl, it's very informative, right?
It's true.
Canadians tend to be a little neurotic about our identity because we're so often eclipsed by the USA. I mean, I get it, girl, all right? When any foreign celebrities shout out, it's our Sally Field moment. You like us. You really like us.
No,
okay,
we
so
love
she enjoys
you.
watching this.
Yeah.
She enjoys watching this. So thank you guys so much for writing us, Christy Lee. And the rest of y'all listeners, if you want to send us an email, let us know what you think, maybe any comments or whatever, go to latriceandmanila@gmail.com.
Boop, boop, doop. And we have an incredibly special guest with us this week. I'm so excited about this because she's our mom.
She had us when she was like negative 20 years old.
Mom is an acronym for Moguls of Media, and she's one of the head bitches in charge. She's also winner of All Stars Season 2, co-host of the Race Chaser podcast, and vagina advocate. It's Alaska Thunderfuck 5000 from outer space.
Welcome to The Chop, Alaska.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here. You both look amazing.
So do you.
Thank you.
I also have been listening to the pod and really enjoying it, and I'm so grateful that you both are doing this podcast. We need you in the world. So thank you.
Oh,
well,
thanks,
you.
Alaska.
Thank you.
And thanks for this opportunity. I think it's so cool that you and Big Dipper and Willem are getting together and you're starting this whole podcast together and letting us, girl, we need the work too, right? So
We
thanks,
definitely
Amen, girl,
need
for
that.
looking out for us.
Amen.
Girl, the mom family.
I love it.
Yes! Drag moms everywhere uniting for our own podcast so y'all can listen to our un-auto-tuned voices, girls and boys, and everyone's in-betweens.
Manila loves her auto-tune. Please give some to Jinx Monsoon.
Come on, lady
famous
buddy.
Lady Buddy quote. All right, so Lasky, are you watching Canada's Drag Race, and what do you think?
Yes, I am watching, and I love it. I mean, it's always interesting to see like how a different part of the world just like does drag. It's fascinating. Like each one is so vastly different. Like the UK was all about like kind of cunty humor, and like Thailand is all about just like runways like you've never fucking seen, people lighting themselves on fire. So like
So true.
another region of the world, we have Canada where everyone is like they're lip syncing against each other, but they're like, "I love you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I had to lip sync."
And that is this week's episode. Is we're getting to know the apologetic, passive aggressive side of Canadian culture, and I honestly like. It's really hard because like we are so like set in stone in this way, like just because I think Canada is so close to the U.S., like we kind of like just kind of meld it all as one. But it's really really fun and it's really exciting and it's got a new twist on the show that we all love.
Completely.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it. In love with it. And yeah, the whole sorry, not sorry, is so true. It's so true. Oh my God, it's so true. But I live for it because, you know, it's like, you know that they're really not. But we're going to be polite about it. But the shade is that they're not really sorry. So I love it.
Let's get to this episode, girls. So we have a message from Kine on the mirror. It's basically saying like, Tainomi, this isn't your moment. Shut up. I feel very attacked.
God bless Kine. I mean, you know, she was a Spitfire. She'll be missed. Well, I don't know if she'll be missed,
Definitely.
but she was.
She's definitely injected a lot of the drama that we are used to watching on Drag Race, and I feel like it, you know, because it was I'm getting to know like the way things are in Canada, and so I'm getting to see like that was a little bit too much for them, so they had to chop her real quick.
Real
you
quick.
know?
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like Brooke walked off set after that interaction in the workroom and was just like, that bitch has gotta go. I mean, I don't know. She was like, I'm not doing a pearl and letting this queen get to the final three.
Not on episode 2, girl. Not on episode 2.
Do not do it.
Well, you know, as a drag queen, we can be very vicious, just as glamorous as we can be. So don't fuck with the drag queens, you know?
Don't.
Well, we get a video message from Rue.
She already had her.
Hey, kitty girls. I've always wondered how Canadians get anything done with all the apologizing you do. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. The time has come for you to Ru-apologize like your life depends on it. Sorry, not sorry, but totally sorry. RuPaul looks so good in the workroom messages.
Lovely. Stunning.
Yes. I don't think she's scheduled yet to be on the show, so this is her only thing. So she went all out for
Baby.
Canada's
They
Drag Race,
did
you know?
her.
They did her.
They did her
Yeah,
correctly.
she looks so good, and like you can tell, like she, you know, because she little peed on there. She's like, "This is our show, and go with it, and do with it as you must," you know.
Yes.
So we get this mini challenge where they have to read off their teleprompters.
Season 1.
Have you ever had a thing? We've done that on season 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, they made them read off a teleprompter and put like really hard words in it, like Ahmadinejad and like just like trying to throw them off. They upped the ante this time because they're like, okay, we're gonna give it to you 3 times. 3 languages.
3 languages.
French, English, Draglish.
Draglish.
Yeah. Well, we did a teleprompter news challenge on season 3 back in my day. But
Oh, you did?
Yes, girl, it was the news challenge.
Oh yeah.
I opted out because I was like, I'm gonna fuck up that because like I'm really bad at reading like really fast and like I have bad visions. You know, with the contact lenses and the eyelashes and the lights in your face, I was like, I don't want to risk this, so I did the Asian reporter on that episode instead, so I could just make up shit, so I didn't have to. You know, I just didn't want to because it looks hard, girl. It's hard reading a teleprompter.
It's not easy. And my problem is I talk really slow, so like I would not be a good newscaster. It would be
You be missing lines and shit, girl. Been gone, honey. The next subject is up, bitch. They got the wrong picture up. You still talking?
yeah, still trying to get through it.
But they do it in French. Now, some of the girls already know French, so this is easy for them.
Yeah.
And they both get on a team together.
Rita and
Yeah, so-
Kiara. Yeah, they
Yeah.
they like got this in the bag.
Read a bag of chips, Aura.
Oh,
Okay.
Read a bag of chips, Aura. Yeah, they get a 20-minute quick drag, which I love quick drag, and news anchor quick drag is even better.
yes.
Who is it? Someone says Tainomi looks like your fucking auntie.
Baby.
Like,
None of my auntie looked that bearded, bitch. I'm telling you, bitch. No, ma'am, honey. She
Well,
gave
I
you
think
8
that
o'clock
the fact
shadow.
that you do it, I think the fact that when you get up in quick drag, it's like sloppy and it's supposed to be humorous. So like it kind of sets the tone for the whole thing. This is just a mini challenge. So this is just something fun. You already know that it doesn't really matter if you're gonna like do well in this. Just make it entertaining. And some of the queens are really entertaining. I really like Jimbo. I thought Jimbo did a fantastic job.
Yes, I love Jimbo.
I think Priyanka and Lemon did it with such ease that they were able to like kind of, show off a little bit with their own personalities within it because they were, I guess, reading is fundamental.
yeah, they were like watching Kelly Ripa. Like
Bitch,
they were really.
They were
just,
right
like,
on it.
Yeah.
They were on it. Yeah.
But Jimbo's character work, Jesus, I was just
Oh,
like, she's
Fully
committed.
committed.
Even after they're done
No.
in the workroom.
Well, that's what really is really interesting about it is because the bitch is smart. She's like, oh, I'm going to embody this character. It's almost like practice for Snatch Game, right? And she is going to stay in this character and she's going to speak to the other bitches and read them down as this character. So she has no blood on her hands if she's like doing some side-eye shit for the camera towards the other girls because, it all comes off and she was just playing this like
It's
bitch
character,
right?
Right. But I got a feeling that Jimbo has so much shit in her arsenal, like she is gonna pull some shit out on these hoes that they're not ready for. So I can't wait to see more of her. For real.
Okay, so we get to a Maxi-challenge. Okay, now that Priyanka and Lemon won, they have to become the team captains. Like nothing good comes
The curse!
from winning
The
a
curse!
mini challenge.
You always say it. It's true.
And now they're fighting against each other. Okay, and they have to pick teams for their rival girl groups to have a pitch perfect rap battle against each other.
Very bad.
Canadian style to the song Sorry Not Sorry. Okay, we got the two teams, so whatever teams they landed on, it doesn't really matter except for Ilona was picked last again.
Again.
That's gotta weigh on her, and it obviously does. Like, I know that you want to go into it and not take it personal, but like 2 episodes in a row, you're just like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah. So she's already like really definitely feeling that. I think that the girls, well, I don't know, they're not really, going in and having that cry moment, that teammate moment, and sharing that we all feel that way in some ways. And you got this, girl. We all got this. We got each other. But they're like, let's keep it moving, and she kind of had to figure it out herself. They're on the sofa, right?
Keep it pushing. Okay.
Girl, we don't have time to lift your fucking ass up in this competition. So, like, if you want to feel that way, we're gonna throw you under the bus later on. Sorry, not sorry. Should we take a break right now?
Yeah. Why don't we talk about that right after this special break?
Because I need more wine. Thank you.
And we're back to the chat with Manila and Latrice.
And our special guest judge, Alaska.
Woo woo. Oh.
So I love this section. Also, Ralph. I was
Ralph.
expecting someone different than who we saw on stage.
True that. Don't let the name fool you. But when I tell you, she was amazing. Like, I kikied with her. Like, she was in on the reads, letting them bitches have it. It was
Yes.
true entertainment at its finest, and I laughed, I chuckled, and she's brilliant.
I also felt like we got to see a lot of the work that the queens were putting into recording. I feel like in the past it just seems very rushed and like you either know how to freaking rap or you don't know how to rap, and then they just kind of like, you know, make fun of that. But I really felt like they were actually like she was working with them
Yep.
so that they could get a really good thing. And honestly, like fast forward ahead, spoiler alert, like the song turned out really good.
Really cute.
So some of these queens were struggling, like Boa. She was, you know, having trouble, you know, giving out her lines.
Scarlet Bobo looks are a no-no. Oh, no, try it again. Scarlet Bobo looks are a no-no. No, let's do that again. Let's do that again.
It was, I didn't even think she was doing it that bad. So I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm loving Boa recently, just because she's so silly. But like, I thought she was doing pretty good, but like they just went to goes to show like they were really putting in the effort. They really wanted to get these girls' best performances.
Yeah.
And hey, as long as the final result is good, I feel like it doesn't matter how many takes you do, right? Especially when
well.
someone else is paying for the studio time.
I mean that.
You know? So
Where is the lie? Okay.
get it in, girl.
Some of the girls are letting us know that they have songs on iTunes as well.
Right. And if you don't have a song on iTunes, what are you doing here? What are you
Are
doing?
you
Yeah,
even doing
yeah.
drag?
Are you even doing
Yeah.
drag?
Well,
Girl.
I think it's actually a really interesting thing because like back in my day, we didn't put songs on iTunes until after we were on Drag Race. But now like the local queens have figured out, girl, it don't take that much to get your song on iTunes. You just have to fill out a form and pay a quick little fee, and you can sell your song on iTunes. So I think it's kind of amazing that we have girls that have experience coming in. So it should be showing in this competition, you know what I mean? It should be showing like they're familiar being in front of a mic, and some of these girls are doing really, really well. I'm very proud of them.
Very well. I mean, at this stage of the game, and this many over a decade in, we now see the trajectory of how it works. And now these girls know that if you want to be ahead of the game, you got to be ahead of the game. And so putting out a song and having a music video, that's just part of being, you know, what we do now. Look at it. Look at us now in
exactly.
quarantine, putting out videos.
And it doesn't matter if you're on RuPaul's Drag Race or not. You can have a song on iTunes and a music video to go with it, and you can go and travel and do everything that you can here, no matter what country you're in. Okay, so that seems like the easy part because then we have the choreo part.
Baby.
Girl. And first of all, I kind of want to punch Lemon in the face a little bit. I know Lemon, and I was one of the first people to ever paint Lemon. I have to tell you.
Oh, really?
know. Yes. I wasn't her first time in drag. I've been corrected on this. I thought I was her first time putting her in drag, but it was actually her second. So I know her, but like during this, she's just like kick and slick and hey, work and hit and boom, boom. And the rest of the girls are like, can we slow it down, please?
I was living because you know what? For me, I've been waiting for Lemon to show me what she can do, and like because she was talking,
showing.
Bitch,
Well, no tea. If you listen to episode 2 of The Chop, we were left a little, you know, we thought there was going to be more dance skills coming from her in her first lip sync. No,
Right.
that's just our opinion.
just our opinion.
But she was killing
Baby,
it,
she
girl.
was letting them hoes have it. She goes, I'm gonna dance all over you hoes and pump, bitch.
And so I mean, I don't care. Like, this is a competition, so if this is the one thing that you're good at, you're gonna go on TV showing off what you can do. So you know from now on that you're gonna get a good dance show from Lemon. And
Tainomi was real good, and Kiara too. Like, bitch, she danced better than she walked in them heels last week. I was very surprised.
Well, I like it because you can tell that Kiara is like, she's like seeing like, okay, these girls are the strong ones in this particular competition. So she's going to push herself to be at their level, and she made the effort. Unlike some of the other queens who just like stood there like,
Yeah.
Deer in the headlights.
I am that girl when it comes to dance rehearsal, so I have compassion. And I know that a lot of the work happens after the cameras shut down, and then they like let you rehearse until midnight and you just drill it over and over. Then you go back to the hotel room and you don't sleep, you just try to learn the choreo. That's how I had to function, because that's how I do dance.
Yes.
That's how dance do you.
That's how dance does me, correct.
Yeah, and I guess like as a viewer, we're only seeing like the 15-minute dance lesson that they do on stage with Hollywood Jade. But what I didn't realize is that they were struggling because not only was it kind of difficult choreography, no tea, like it looked like it was a lot for a lot of these, for most of those girls.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you know, the choreographer was definitely showing off. So like he was giving like some good moves, and that only 2 or 3 of the queens could actually get.
There were a lot of and beats. You know,
Yeah.
Heclina in San Francisco, whenever someone's making choreo for her, she's like, no ands. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. No 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. No ands.
You gotta have
There
some
were a lot of ands. Then the girls left the stage, and the choreographer was like, it's not hard. What is wrong with that?
But
Well, of course it's not hard for him. He made it up. You know what I mean?
Right, of course. But was it just me, or was it like because the first group had Lemon and Tainomi in there, and they were kind of like some, you know, advanced skill dancers, that when he got to group 2, that he went like super fast and like.
Yeah, because
He
he's
was
really
warmed
tired.
up.
He's like, yeah, he was just warmed up. He was like good to go. You know what I mean? And those girls were
They were the
still
special
drug-going.
group. They were the struggle bus for sure.
What's the next thing that we do?
The girls are talking in the workroom. Priyanka says, well, I haven't told my dad that I like do drag and that I'm gay, but I told him I'm dating a girl named Priyanka.
Brilliant!
It's not a lie.
Not a lie. Not a lie.
I'm seeing a girl. He said.
I'm seeing a girl.
I see her
I see her.
from time
It's all
to
about the
time.
wording, right? It's
Yeah.
all about the wording and slipping it in there, like
Sometimes 3 to 5 times a week.
recontextual-
during June.
Well, I mean, I relate to this because, like, when I came out to my father, my parents, like, my father took it hard, and then, like, it was just even harder for him to just grasp the idea of me doing drag on top of being gay. So it was just something that we
course,
kind of avoided talking about. I mean, he knew I was gay because I told him, but like, I get the adding the drag on top of it is just like extra like whipped cream,
Yup.
nuts and sprinkles. You know,
Mhm.
I feel for it. I feel for her. I mean,
Yeah.
and besides, now there's no escape. Like, this is her coming out to her dad. Like, now she gonna be on TV. He's gonna have to
Yes.
deal with it. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, so good for
Good
her.
for her.
And she has songs on iTunes.
Interesting.
Now, okay, so this guest host thing has been weird and a strange thing that I don't fully understand until Deborah Cox. Then it all made
Yes.
sense.
Then you're like,
Yes,
okay. That's part of our problem because we're dumb Americans and we only know Deborah Cox. And so far.
We
And
are
no,
live.
honestly though, like, it's almost more of like a subculture because Deborah Cox was like very huge. She's huge in like the dance scene, especially in the early 2000s when we all started drag. So like she is legendary in the drag community and the gay community. Her voice is so powerful. She's acted. She's been on Broadway. She's done everything. She's like a big name, but like still not even as big as she could have been in the States.
I agree.
But
I agree.
In Canada, she's huge.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've worked with her and she's been amazing every time.
Yeah.
I saw her live here at a club called Coliseum. 2000 New Year's Eve. She hit the stage and my God, you know we were on everything, but you know, uppers, downers, candy corns, girl. We're on everything. And
Corn dogs.
and she was spectacular, honey.
Oh,
Spectacular.
she's amazing.
I love her.
And I feel like she's earned the right to walk the runway and say, you know, gentlemen, start your engines. May the best woman win.
Yeah.
Get ready to lip sync for your life. They put the echo effect on her voice. She's earned her place in the queer community where I feel like that makes sense for her to sit in that chair and do that.
Yeah.
So finally the guest host thing makes sense.
It clicks.
It clicks. It clicks. But at first I was like, why didn't they open with her? Of course, everyone has scheduling issues, so that might not be the issue. But like, to be honest, like, I'm glad that it happened now. So like, I've had 2 episodes to kind of get used to the guest host thing. Yes. And like, I would have hate to have felt that way if she went on the first episode and I was like, who the heck does Deborah Cox think she is? RuPaul? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm cool with like, easing into it. You gotta tease the whole a little bit.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Before she just accepts the whole gorgeousness of it.
Lubed and prepped. Lubed and prepped.
Lubed and prepped, relaxed, and ready to take all of this new guest host information in, right, girl?
Wow. Speaking of lubed and prepped, we have this mainstay performance, and these names for these groups, girl. The Dolls. And the Moose. When I holler when they said the moose knuckles. Now, bitch, I know what a moose knuckle is. That's for sure. You don't have to be Canadian to know that. All you have to do is look at Jay Sotomayor's Tuck in season 1.
Oh, wow.
Wait. I don't know. Okay. Moose knuckles, like, sometimes you can't help it because, like, if you just happen to have really big nuts, you can't get away with it. You can't get flat
those
I'm
nuts
sorry.
away from my face.
I applaud the girls for picking that name. I know that On a Star Scene was like, well, what are we calling ourselves? But I think that it's such like a good representation of like having something really fun, something very Canadian, and it's like setting everyone up for like, we're gonna have a good time. We're not taking ourselves too
serious, right? And I like that. Yeah. I
thought the song was good.
Yes.
It turned out really cute.
The song turned out fantastic. It was a long fucking song, bitch.
For real. They did the full 12-inch version, bitch.
It was like a rusical level. You know what I mean? Like there was a introduction, there was multiple middle parts, and then there was a whole switch it around on its head. Like the girls are like, oh, now suddenly, like after they've all read each other, they're like apologizing to each other.
Right. It was 10 verses, girl. It was 10 verses.
It was like 10 minutes long, girl. No wonder these bitches were struggling so hard with the choreo. It wasn't the choreo. It was just that it was so much of the choreo.
So much.
A lot, yes.
Not only were the choruses that they all had to do their numbers, but then there was a lot of blocking. There was a lot of verses.
And then the reset, and then there's the other team. It's like, it was a lot.
And then you have to do the acting on top of it, then the performing, and it was a lot. And some of the girls, it showed.
Baby, who was that in the back? Was it Ilona?
It was Ilona.
Oh, baby.
What about in the front with Tainomi? Because she wasn't doing none of the words.
Oh.
She was getting the dance.
Well, but I understand, because when you're like a pop star though, and like the chorus comes on, then you just like stop singing and just like
It was her verse, girl. It was her verse, girl. It was her verse.
Oh, it was her verse, but she didn't know the words?
Yes,
well,
girl.
It was the both. It was the both. But definitely her verse. Definitely her verse.
Never mind.
Definitely her verse. I feel for her because like I've done this before where you like have choreography and like you're concentrating so hard on doing the choreography and performing that you forget like, oh, you have to be doing the lip sync too. I mean, it's happened, but like, damn, girl. I don't know. Is it because like on episode 1 she came in and she was like, every girl knows me, everyone owes their career to me, that I'm having these like higher expectations for her, like that makes me like
a little bit.
Right?
But
because
everybody holds
like
her under standard, though.
If she came in there like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just here to have fun. Like, and if she did, I feel like I wouldn't be like, come on, girl. Like, everyone's supposed to say that you're, I don't know. I feel really bad.
Again, Drag Race has a way of exposing those insecurities and those little moments that twinkle out on your ass when you think you're the most confident and you should be slaying. And then all of a sudden, no.
Yeah, totally.
Well, let's talk about our standouts when we get back from this.
And we are back to the chop with Manila, Latrice, and our special guest, Alaska.
Are we talking about the runway?
The runway. Who did we like?
Quebec with the good hair. So this is similar to the hairball.
The hairball.
Which was on season 3. Yeah.
I love it. Except I think it looks like they had to do it, like they had to like bring their own wigs.
Oh,
as opposed to
truly.
being supplied them and having to make it on the spot. Obviously,
Right.
there was a lot of freaking hair. And hair's not cheap. Like one wig is like a pretty decent wig is like $40, right? So if you have like 10 wigs on your outfit, that's $400. That's a lot of money. Tracks aren't cheap either. Like the longer you want it, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you better already know who my fave and standout is Jimbo, bitch. When that bitch bent that corner with, oh my God. I was like, oh, for real? This is how you doing it, bitch? Oh
Yeah.
my God. Full on body, yachty, bitch, leather harness, boots, titty plate, bitch. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am,
it was-
show us what
it
you
was
can do,
everything.
honey.
I was already copying all of it in my like mind for my next outfit. That's like how good it was. It was just like
So good.
and the fact that she like got this like weird ombre blonde to red thing, and then she just got
Yeah.
hundreds of these wigs and
Oh
she had
my
them
God.
all over, and it was like it was attached to the outfit, but it looked like it just came down from her head like Rapunzel.
Cascading. Yeah.
It was
sickening.
so good.
It was the Bibi Zahara Benet giant hair.
Right.
But she took 4 of that and put them all down her fucking body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one I loved was Priyanka with the orange and blue combo.
Yeah, that was cute.
Woo, with
She
the
was
braids.
cute.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really well executed where she was able to take the hair and she was able to present it that was kind of different and made that hair into like the bodysuit, had the braids in her hair. Like it wasn't about like the volume or anything, but it was about like making the hair into a fabric or
Yeah.
into like
Right.
a harness. I thought
Yeah.
that I loved
It
that.
was really cute. Yeah,
And the
it was
color
really
choice
cute.
was fantastic because, well, Brooklyn was wearing
Brooklyn.
the same damn color palette.
They
you
got
know?
the memo, honey.
Right.
They got the memo. I can tell you who I did not like.
Tell
girl,
us.
girl, okay, I know she funny and Manila's favorite, but bitch, Boa bent that corner and I was like, no ma'am, when she took off that coat and that green
Oh.
horrible with the oh my God, it was so no ma'am, Pam. Manila, you were living, weren't you? You were living. You were like, bitch, I wish I had made this on my season.
I cackled out loud when she came around
Oh,
the corner
girl.
with the big pageant hair and the fur coat, and she came. I knew she was gonna have a reveal, but like the way that she described it in her commentary was like, "I'm just coming out here in this beautiful fur coat," and she says, "Not." I mean, it's so 90s, and then she takes it off, and then there's like that awful like
It
bodysuit,
was.
with the
Like-
spray. I mean, I think that it was like. Something would be funny for the club. It doesn't really work on the runway because it doesn't really have the.
Ooh.
It didn't have the, like the skin tones didn't match. It was like
I can't, girl.
It's a girl. Okay. I've done the number where it's the reveal to the garish pubic hair.
yeah.
We've seen these sort of nude illusion painted bodysuits. They did a whole runway of them on season, what was it? 7?
Seven.
hmm
And so I don't know. It was like sort of a combination of like things that just like I feel like if someone else would have done this, they would have gotten dog walked.
They would have gotten sent home, bitch.
I think what it really comes down to is that it's just like a bodysuit that we've kind of already seen before. The like using the extra hair as like pubes, ha ha ha. I've got a big, like it's like a
Right.
drag cliche at this point. And like of course like her actual hair wasn't fantastic. Neither was the fur coat. So there wasn't really that
Right.
like elevated part about it. But I think it's just because like we expect so much from like these queens on the show that like we kind of
Right.
hold it to a higher standard. I enjoyed it just because it was something I was like, oh, I know that joke already. Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Well.
And I think that like she was able to like use her personality to sell it as opposed to like the outfit.
But how long are we gonna keep on excusing these horrible ass runways because she's got
Well,
good personality?
right.
No, ma'am.
Well, I don't know
And-
because in the performance, despite the fact that we watched her fuck up so bad, like maybe
She turned it.
repeating those lines over and over and over again really helped her to instill it in her mind because when she performed it, she was fantastic.
She was
And
turned
then
it, yeah.
And it doesn't matter what she wears on the runway as long as she can sell it. And I think that the judges have already told her that last week. So I don't know. Like it wasn't my favorite, but like whatever.
I have to give a mention to Scarlett Bobo, who I thought was phenomenal in the challenge. Like,
Yeah.
She kicked her face, and like, she was like, I was like, oh my God, that was really her stepping into herself in this competition. And she talks about kind of this exact thing with Boa. She's like, girl, you fucking hot glued some hair to your fucking bodysuit and they peed for you. And she's getting a little fed up about it.
I know the feeling.
I mean, I get it. She was having a little bit of like this. She was having her Aja moment where she's like, "Girl, you could wear a diaper on stage and they would live for it." You know what I mean? So
A little bit.
a little like a politer. Sorry about it. Not sorry about it. Canadian
Right.
way of delivering it. Correct us if we're wrong. You can email us at latricemanila@gmail.com. But is this at the same level if you're at Canadian standards? I'm not sure.
Right.
Now, who did not fare well in the challenge but turned it on the runway was Alona. Like
Yes.
that powder blue poodle look with the rhinestone leash and the pasties, like well thought out. She was so polished. So polished. I was like, okay, we see what you can do.
And we've seen poodle looks before on the runway of Drag Race, but nothing like
Not
this.
like this. Yeah.
It was like a cartoon stuffed animal you win at a carnival.
Right.
Like, just gorgeous outfit. And because it was so impactful, girl, it melted away any possibilities of her like having to lip sync, I think.
Right.
It was just
'Cause
such a
she was-
good look.
Yeah.
It saved her. It saved her because she.
It did.
Yeah, it saved her.
One thing I picked up on is that she said that was her color. And we in episode 1 of The Chop, we talk about her powder blue armored look. So
Oh,
this
yes.
is her. So
Her
I think this is
signature
her
color.
signature color. You know, like how yellow is
Her power
mine.
color.
Yeah.
Hers
Yeah.
is like a powder,
Powder
blue.
blue, which
Mhm.
I'm here for. Yeah.
What about Anastasia? I feel like if like Jimbo did this, it would have been like, oh my gosh, fierce. But because we know her as the pageant girl, I feel like it was a little harsh. Because I thought it was
Yeah, I don't-
cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. Why is it too much? It was not too much.
What
I thought
is
it-
too much, right?
I thought it was too much. I thought that like because you come out we're
I'm a drag
Anastasia?
queen. How dare
Yeah,
you?
Well, you establish the scene with Cousin It, which is like the Addams family. Okay, so there's so
That's
much you can
deep.
work with the Addams family. So as you turn around, you should be exactly what Brooklyn said. She should have been a
Morticia.
gorgeous Morticia with black hair that went all the way down, and she could have looked sickly. But instead, she had this random. First of all, she called it Chung Li, which I don't even play video games, but that was not Chung Li. Okay, she had
As in
this.
Princess Amidala.
It was like Yara Sophia patons on her head,
Yeah.
and she had a Fu
love that.
Manchu. She had a Fu Manchu. I don't know. I feel like she set up such a really interesting concept, and when she turned
And then follow
around,
through.
it was like, oh yeah, she didn't hit the punchline. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So that was the reason why she failed for me.
But I still
because
thought it was cool. I thought
It was
well done.
amazing. Both those looks were fantastic on their own. Together, it was just like too much effort put into something that wasn't working in the first place. But
Fair enough.
I fucking love the idea of. I liked both the looks, so I can't be mad at it. It just it didn't make
work
sense
together.
Yeah,
Got it.
and that I think threw it off. And then of course, like her performance, like it was just like
Yeah,
two strikes.
I was sad that she was not excelling in the dancing and the rapping challenge. She looked out of place. Like She was not at home.
Right.
Well, she just said she wanted to get it over with, girl. Like when she was
Wow.
putting and the thing about it is that like when you record, like that sets the tone for how you're going to dance. And if you're
It's-
going into there being like,
Exactly.
you know, whatever, it's going to like, trust me, that happened to me on All Stars 4 when I just kind of went in there and I was like, let me just kind of do a little like, you know,
Well, not fair.
mark
Is
this.
it fair? Is it
fair?
Is it fair?
Yeah, that doesn't help you. You know what I mean? So I know it can fuck you up.
So then we have the Safe Queens, which is Lemon, which I'm sure is stuck in her craw. Rita Baga and Jimbo are all safe.
Yes.
And they kind of switched it up how they called out the top and bottom queens and dismissed the safe queens. So that was a little different. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They like to switch it up, you
Yeah,
know,
switch
keep
it
the
up,
girls on
you
their
know.
toes.
Mm-hmm.
But that second they called the first girl, I was like, oh, this is the tops and bottoms. They're
There's the
switching
tops
it up.
and bottom,
Yeah.
yeah.
As a viewer, I'm already expecting it. So like, as a person who's been in that performance, like when you look, because you know when the judges do that, you're like looking around like, oh shit, like,
Oh
okay,
shit! Who's this?
Oh,
Who's around?
the girl that was really sucked stepped forward. So as long as she don't call my name, I know I'm safe, right?
All that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. And in this big group challenge thing, like, and there's only 3 of them, so I would be so like, whew, safe. I'm making it to episode 4, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so let's get to our judges' critiques.
Kira, she faded into the background during her performance. And her runway was kind of like reminiscent of Kind. I was like, oh, did Kind leave
It
her
was.
the costume and she took off the balls, or
She
No,
did.
because Kind's actually fit her crotch a lot better than this one.
Wow.
This one looked like her crotch was like a drop crotch. And then the bell bottoms weren't even bell bottoms; they were just kind of like straight leg. And
They're
they kind of
palazzo pants.
they went palazzo pants, but they didn't quite make it past the ankle bone. So it was just like,
Cause there's a flood coming, girl.
and then the wig looked like the
Oh.
back of, I don't know, Alaska's wig. It was just like one big
Thank you.
Mad.
one big matted. It looked like a cotton ball as opposed to hair.
I love that look. I feel like the gold jumpsuit, the gold disco jumpsuit, is now the new like red kimono. It's like
Don't
a
do it.
moratorium on the gold disco jumpsuit on Drag Race forever now. No one can do
Yeah.
it now. It's over.
No more.
It's
over.
done.
No more gold
No more gold.
jumpsuits.
No
I
more.
don't care.
Even
No.
if you think.
Even if you
Rest
think.
in peace.
Rest in peace. We saw it here last. Kiara was the last person to wear it on Drag Race. I felt bad for Tainomi because her outfit, although I got what she was going for, it was just poorly executed.
Well, at least put a flat iron and a brush through it if you're gonna wear something like that. It can't look like you just took it out the bag and put it on, bitch. Like that's hair. And you know how your wigs look? That's what it look like when you take a
Right.
wig out the bag and put
It's got
it
the
on.
kink in it.
The kink where it was
It's got
folded up.
It was
Girl,
folded in the
like-
back.
Like, girl, you gotta like take a flat iron to that. Them tracks, honey.
Hot gluing hair to an outfit is very difficult. Like I've done it before. I'll do it again. Hair is just really hard to work with. So
Yeah.
creating sculpture and an outfit with it. But like I feel like I think what it was is that it was just plain tracks of hair, you know, and they're just like laid flat. And there was like
Right.
no design to it. There was whatever. And I think that, again, they said, like, it didn't really fit her body. And then I don't know what the fasteners were up here. It just looked like a reveal, which we find out later it is. But, like, I wish that her
Yeah.
reveal was, like, on the runway. I feel like that would have
Helped.
Help.
at least... Yeah, because then we would have
Helped.
been staring at, like, why is that Velcro, like, not lining
Right.
up with right there in the front, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like if she took that hat off and she had just had a long ponytail underneath it and she just like walked the runway in the all black outfit.
We've seen them ponytails, girl. Those the Miss Thing.
Even if it was 3 hair, I don't know, because you can. Here's the deal with though. In drag, you can get away if it's a reveal. Like, it doesn't even matter if you like are Mimi I'm first, shuffling it off. As long as you're changing outfits in the middle of your number, the kids are gonna go up. And I feel like that could have happened with her look. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So Priyanka wins. She wins a VIP and luxury experience at a luxury Hilton. And where's this at? Laklimi? How you pronounce it? Is it Laklimi?
How about our Canadian fans go to latricemanila@gmail.com and let us know?
Yeah.
I thought Priyanka did really great, and I think this is a great win for her. And I knew from the Meet the Queens videos, I was like, she's someone to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that she's really a contender to go all the way.
Yeah, and she was the team captain of her team, and she was like able to really do it. And she was honestly, as a viewer, a joy to watch through this process. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like even when she wins, like she just has so much like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. She doesn't like, you're not feeling like I expected to win. I didn't feel like any of like whatever. She's just lovely and innocent, and as like a viewer, I feel like we're getting to watch Drag Race from fresh eyes.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you agree with the bottoms?
Our bottom twos are Tainomi and Starzy, and unfortunately, I kind of
like,
agree with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Combining the runway and the challenge, it's kind. I mean, that's
kind of it. Because
Yeah.
Alona, like she turned it on the runway, even though her performance was womp
Right.
womp. But she
Yeah.
redeemed herself on the runway, and it was very, very strong. So it
Yeah.
did super exceed, what she did on the
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah. And honestly, like, yeah, you have 2 strikes, so I'm sorry, the girls all have to be in the bottom. So we have the queens lip syncing in front of Deborah Cox.
Baby,
A
the song.
Deborah Cox a song, classic. Like a
Absolutely not. Should I wear my hair in a ponytail? Should I dress myself up in Chanel? How? But
I don't know that any drag queen has ever done this song before.
Oh, as I just bust out in full verse.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. This is one of the most popular drag songs.
And every bitch
There's-
had a
in the
ponytail
world.
on while they was doing
Yeah.
it.
And just all energy, right?
All full out. Which we did not get, unfortunately. in
Deborah
this lip sync.
Deborah Cox's voice is such a powerful instrument. It's one of the
Yes.
best gifts a drag queen can have, because it's obviously not our voices singing. So when we project something, we want something that's big, over the top, grand, and beautiful. And that is Deborah Cox right there. So
100.
Yeah.
I have to say, getting to watch Deborah Cox lip sync is a joy for me.
Okay, but
Yeah.
plot twist, did we forget to mention that Tainomi has been a backup dancer for Deborah Cox for over a decade? So this
Yeah.
woman knows this woman and
Yes.
should be able to turn this. She could have busted out some more choreography from a video or a performance,
Right.
but I didn't get that either. But I did expect a lot more. I will say this, though. I understand that you've been standing on that runway for about 3 hours, but your knees are numb, you can't feel your toes, and you giving all you can give with what you can, because nobody knows that part. It's all edited out, so it looks like it's real fast, bitch.
And Tainomi is no spring chicken, okay? Like she look young, but like
Them knees
Yeah,
are old.
I get that. But yeah, her performance was a little underwhelming for what the expectations I think that we all have been fed from I don't know, from the show. Like, all the other queens talk so highly of her. She talks highly of herself. Deborah motherfucking Cox know who she is. So I was
Right.
expecting a lot more, especially because I think she was getting the choreography, but like obviously she failed at I don't know. After last week's lip sync and then seeing this lip sync, I feel like I don't know. I thought there should be
She
more.
did the tearaway. I mean, I thought she did great. She did the tearaway. She revealed I have another hair outfit under my hair outfit.
Okay, but then I was.
She revealed.
But
she
we
took
covered
off
this.
the-
She should have done that
the
on the
hair
runway,
hat.
and maybe she wouldn't have been in the bottom of having to give us this underwhelming performance.
Like, where was that before?
Where it ought to be, covered up.
Well, here's the deal.
Oh my God, Latrice!
Here's the other deal though. Like, I feel for her because I'm not a dancer when I perform. If I was to perform a Deborah Cox song, trust me, it would be all here as well because I can't do the dancing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I actually was preferring Anastasia's performance because I, as a queen that can't dance, was enjoying the dancing of the lips and the performance up here and the emoting of the song. Because I think that Anastasia's lip sync was
tight.
was
was
tighter
tight.
than Tainomi.
It was a matter of energy over lips, over whatever. But like either one, it was like you're not getting the total package. You weren't getting the full fantasy. Like each one of them had something that you wish the other one had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I feel like because the hair was just covering so much of her, it was just kind of
Yeah.
shielding her face. I don't think that her full performance was able to be experienced from the judge's point of view as well. So I don't know. And also, like, as Deborah Cox is being your guest host this week, you can't send Tainomi home.
No, ma'am.
You know?
Tainomi did, she did it justice enough. You know what I mean? Like she twirled enough, she kicked enough, and did a graceful split.
She gave
like,
a performance.
she gave a performance.
But Anastasia, she'll really be missed. She was such a like classy
Class act.
presence.
Yes, absolutely.
And such a powerhouse in the world of drag, like in general. So like it was great seeing her on our Wow Presents Plus app for a few weeks.
Yeah, and she really did especially last week when she told her story of like of where she came from in the Bahamas and how she was able to come to Canada. I think that we all have like a love and respect for her, and I'm interested in seeing more from her. So I'm sad to see her go, but like, the pressure's on, girls. Like if this pageant winner can be sent home with all of her polish, then like anyone could be next.
Anyone could be next. So
she took that lipstick out, went up to the mirror, and then said, "No," and put it away.
I'm not ruining this very good, perfectly good lipstick for a message that I don't even want to write.
That
She did that.
was
She did that.
sickening. That was sickening. She said, I have
She did that.
She was Whitney Houston. She says, I have nothing.
Crazy. Well, that's our episode. I'm sad to see Anastasia go. Congratulations to Priyanka.
We love you, Queen. You are gorgeous and stunning, and you will always be Anastasia. Thanks, Alaska, for joining us. Thank you so much.
Alaska. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I feel
Thank you
like
for having me.
Of course. I want to remind you guys, if you guys want to get in contact with us or share your experience of being a Canadian with us uneducated Americans with our COVID-19, please send an email to latriceandmanila@gmail.com, and we might even read your message on air.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for listening to The Chop. The Chop is not endorsed by World of Wonder, Crave Canada, or any of their subsidiaries.
It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only.
Canada's Drag Race and all names, pictures, and audio clips are registered trademarks and or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Forever Dog.
The Chop is produced by Forever Dog and Moguls of Media.
Mom.
Hosted by Latrice Royale and Manila Luzon.
Produced by Big Dipper.
Mixed and mastered by Will Pitts.
Executive produced by Willem Belli,
Alaska Thunderfuck.
Brett Boehm,
Joe Cilio.
and Alex Ramsey.
Our theme song is The Chop by Manila Luzon and Latrice Royale.